There's a type of loneliness that we all experience at some point in our lives that can only be cured by connecting to ourselves. This kind of loneliness may have been brought about by either having to put other people first, to prioritize other people's needs, so out of a sense of obligation or responsibility, or actually just wanting to put other people back, needing to put other people back, so out of a sense of necessity. But because you did that, it pushed you away from yourself. And so now, what you're feeling as lonely is that distance between the person that you are from the person that you've had to become, which is making it very painful for you. So the emotional pain is you can see yourself very far from where you are now, and that's where the loneliness is. And this loneliness requires that you take a lot of time alone, or maybe even come to therapy, so that you can start knowing yourself, so that you can even learn how to know yourself, to know what you think, to know where that thought is coming from, what is driving that kind of thinking, that kind of thought process, to understand what is driving certain behaviors that are perhaps sabotaging your growth, perhaps defeating in the goals that you set. And so by learning how to become aware of your motivation, your desires, your fears, real fears, not what you're showing other people there for a gain that is perhaps unconscious. So what happens is a person might be engaging in extreme people-pleasing behaviors and they want to stop, but they don't know why they're even doing it. Or they might have a clue of why they're doing it, which is to be liked, but then they don't know why they want to be liked or why they need to be liked, why they have this almost compulsive need for the other person to approve of their behavior or to approve of them or to validate them, right? And so the loneliness comes from that you're doing something you don't think you should be doing, but then you don't know what's pushing you. You don't know where the impulse is coming from. And so the cure for that loneliness is actually coming back to increase your awareness, especially on your unconscious motivation, especially on these unconscious contradictions that you have, that you don't have access to easily, to be able to now cure that loneliness, to reduce that emotional pain that you're experiencing. So I'll repeat, there's a specific type of loneliness that we experience that can only be cured when we come back to ourselves, when we reconnect parts of ourselves that we had disconnected from, when we come back to understand ourselves as we are, as authentically, as genuinely, as sincerely as we are, not as we pretend to be. There's a type of loneliness that can only be cured by that, not by getting into relationships with other people, not by expecting someone else to make you feel a certain way, but actually coming to expect of yourself to soothe that feeling that you have, to comfort that feeling that you have.